Hello fellow dragons, it's Shane from Astral Dragon Gaming. I've been a bit busy of late and I haven't really put up enough. I got an early access code from Double Robot from Keymailer, and basically it's called BlazingSky. It's an early access game. I'm basically giving you a basic review of it. It's out on Steam at the moment for $28.95 Australian bucks. So anyway, space games are like a drop in the ocean. When you say PC games, it is literally the most common thing out there. There is a massive universe out there, and the likelihood of something strange and unusual being out there is like just cannon fodder for all writers. All sci-fi writers have done it, and it's not going to change anytime soon, until we suddenly expand ourselves and go to the very edge of the universe. But that ain't happening anytime soon. BlazingSky is basically based around similar space games such as Freelancer, Wing Commander series, Privateer more than the fighter pilot one, and Rebel Galaxy. The later being pretty much what BlazingSky is. It's basically you fly a ship that is customizable, little bits and pieces that you can add up to, and you fly along on a 2D plane. This meaning that you don't have any verticality in this game. You can look up and down with the camera controls and whatnot, but you can't actually fly up and down. You only can fly forward and back and sort of turn in a god-awful turning motion. But I'll get to that in a minute. So, it's a really interesting thing. It's one of those strange things where you're given a game as just a review code and whatnot. It's like, oh, please review my game. And at the same time, I don't want to tear a game apart, but sometimes when the game is not the way it should be, or there are blinding problems in it, you really have to point it out. Like, one of the really annoying things about BlazingSky is you're effectively driving a soda can spaceship that can be ripped apart in like seconds in this game. And there's a lot of things. I'll get into the whole thing. So anyway, we'll start with the audio. The audio is probably the one thing that I'm probably happiest with in this game. All the characters in the game are actually voiced and whatnot, except for you. You're a mute protagonist as always, and it's great. Like, there's good voice dialogue, there's lots of little quests, there's lots of little bits and pieces to do, there's plenty of places to fly to and fly back from and whatnot. But it just really likes me that if you're going to do a 3D model, okay, make it animated, that's fine. Give it some sort of noise structure, that's fine. But to have no action on their voice and have limited movement on the body, like it's a Thunderbird wooden doll with no mouth moving part, it's just so aggravating, and it just gets at my mind. I really hated how to watch it, and that is the one thing that annoys me. The basic ship sounds that you use for the guns, all the other bits and pieces, it's not too bad. It's fairly standard fare. The music is at best, but overall the audio is great. It's just that one really niggling feature of the talking dialogue between people and whatnot. It just gets on my nerves. Next thing is the controls. Oh my god, the controls. Now the controls are fully remappable. It uses both keyboard and controller. I use predominantly the controller because I found that was the easiest way to play this game. But it's so broken in some ways. Your ship controls very slippery around. Its turning speed can vary quite suddenly. Your speed in flying in system itself is annoying. You can only fly backwards and forwards with a standard sort of movement, but you accelerate and decelerate depending on how much time you press on the analog stick to go forward. And it's not even the right control stick that does this movement controls. No, it's the left stick, and that does your forward and backwards, and at the same time you got to turn with that as well. And it's just, oh, the camera, the controls with that left stick, it's just horrendously bad. And I would really like it to be a lot better. The other thing is, I think this game would have served better with throttle controls with button presses, or even just leave the trigger buttons as your basic acceleration deceleration sort of thing. The right stick only does one thing, and that allows you to shoot left, right, back and forward. And it's like, but why do I have the trigger control on my controller as well to shoot? It's like, it gets to me, it really does. There are so many things about the control scheme for this that just does not icon my brain. And it's a similar thing I had with Rebel Galaxy, is that 2D plane flying a 3D ship in a 3D realm area, and at the same time you're travelling in 2 dimensions. It's just, it hurts my brain almost just to try and play it at times. And yeah, it's just so annoying. The combat. This game is predominantly combat based, and that's where this really falls apart very quickly. Whereas in something like Freelancer or Rebel Galaxy, which is closer to what this game is, it's a lot easier to battle or fit out your ship or understand where you need to fit out your ship in this. This, it just plonks you down and gives you nothing. And yes, it's an early access title, but at the same time, there's so much in this whole sphere of things that just doesn't work well, and it doesn't work the way it should. Like, as you can watch me on the screen, I'm going over and doing this one mission structure. This is the thing that really got to me on this game, is effectively the entire thing is fetch quests. It's go here, do said thing, come back. Go here, do said thing, come back. And so on and so forth. And it's just, it's a really unpleasant sort of game loop and whatnot, and especially when a large proportion of it is you fighting things or trying to fly into dangerous areas and get around certain hazards to things. It's just, it doesn't work. It's so repetitive, it's so boring, and it's so uninspired. And then when you cap that on top of that, there's no talking to you as you finish a mission. There's no long range communications or anything like that. And communicating with people when you're at a space station, it's like, I love Wing Commander and Freelancers and all that, when you went to the actual bases and you got out and you didn't walk around, but you went to different areas to talk to people on the base. Then you got back in your ship, launched out your ship, and boom, let's do this all over again. That's the whole thing of Space Travel, and it's really enjoyable. But in this one, you're just basically stuck on a ship, and you're just flying around this ship continuously. There's no variety, there's no depth, there's no real fantastically interesting things that captivate you and make you want to play this game, or dedicate you to actually paying for this game. And I think that's what really hurts me more about this game, is that I can see what the designer was trying to do, I can see what their idea was, but at the end of the day, it's a poor man's game. It's a game that doesn't live up to some of its contemporaries, and they're still asking you to pay for a decent price for a game, and it's not just worth it, it's just so horrendous. I think if this game was $10 or something like that, I could honestly say, yeah, give it a shot. You might like it, you might not. They might develop it and make it into a much better game. And that is what I love about games, is that they don't become better because someone made it. Like, look at No Man's Sky. It was hounded, it was hammered, and no one liked it when it came out at launch, because it was built up to all this hype. I liked it. I bought it when everyone had poo-pooed it and Steam had said, right, your price is slashed down to nothing just to get rid of keys. But I bought it in the early days and I loved the game, and to see it as it developed over time, that's what really pulled me in. And I think that's what this game is missing most of all, is a hook, is something that you look at it and you go, I like what that game's trying to do. I want to play that game. That game speaks to me in the most important way. But this does not. This game is a long way before it actually becomes something much bigger. And you know, if you want to back a developer and try and help them out, sure, pay for the game. It might come out as something fantastic one day. But right now, it's a very lackluster game that needs a lot more polish, a lot more growth in its overall arc and design and development. And yeah, that's about the best I can say about it. So anyway, thank you for listening to my rant, and I hope I've helped you in understanding what this game's all about. I hope that you come back, and if you want to come back, please hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, and come see me again, where we can discuss and talk about any kind of games. I am trying to get myself back into producing more videos, and yeah, I will be trying to do at least 3 a week now, and possibly a couple of live streams as well. So yeah, other than that, I will catch you on the next video. Bye for now.
Intercept.